In this free masterclass, I'll be giving you the step-by-step process on how to create YouTube videos on your iPhone or Android device. You're going to learn the simple steps to recording videos on your phone, how to edit your videos with free software, how to create a simple thumbnail to help your videos get clicked on, and how to upload your videos to YouTube. There will be chapters linked below to help you navigate through this masterclass. And before we get started, a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is Epidemic Sound. As a brand new creator, one of the things you'll want to add to your videos to make them more engaging is music. The problem is you need to get proper licensing for each song you use. Otherwise, you could get into trouble on YouTube. That's where Epidemic Sound can help. They're a music subscription site that gives you access to over 40,000 music tracks and over 90,000 sound effects that are safe to use in your videos. They have music across tons of genres like hip hop, electronic, acoustic, and more. They also offer great features like playlist creation, so you can organize your favorite songs and find them later, AI tools to help you find music tracks that sound similar, and the licensing to use the music anywhere online. They're also really affordable, starting at $10 a month if you choose the annual plan. You can try them out free for 30 days with my link in the description. I've personally been using them for years, even before they sponsored a single video on this channel, so definitely recommend checking them out. And with that being said, let's get into the first part of this masterclass, which is how to film on your smartphone. And what I'm actually going to do is give you a very basic step-by-step process just so you can start recording, make your video, and be able to publish it so it can be seen by the world. And probably the first thing we want to talk about is the best settings you'll want to turn on your smartphone, and also which camera lens should you use? Should you use the back-facing lenses? Should you use the front-facing lenses? Let's talk about it. And let me be straightforward with you. It doesn't matter. If you want to shoot in 4K, shoot in 4K. If you want to shoot in 720p HD, do that. Sure, it's technically more high quality to film with the back-facing camera than the front-facing camera, but if I put up a video of the front and the back camera side by side, you cannot tell the difference. They look almost identical. And if I put up a video that was in 4K next to a video that is in 720p, most people are not going to be able to tell the difference. So my recommendation is to just use the front-facing camera on your phone, because then you can see yourself and actually align your video properly. And then hopefully your phone at least shoots in 1080p full HD. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, but that would be nice. Now, outside of that, the one thing you will want to turn on is the 3x3 grid in your camera settings. I know on iPhones, you can go to the camera section in your settings and then turn on the 3x3 grid. I'm sure it's similar on Android as well, but having this on will help you center yourself, which is important in the upcoming steps. For the next step, you'll want to find lighting, and my recommendation is to just use a window. It's free. You just got to look around the house and find a window. If you do want to purchase lights, I will have a link down below to some lighting gear I recommend, both cheap lighting and more expensive lighting, if you really want to go and buy lights. But free and easy is the way I usually like to roll. Now, there are a few rules when it comes to window lighting. Number one, you don't want to film in direct sunlight, especially if you have skin issues like me, where I look like Bob the Tomato. If the window you're filming at is just direct sunlight, you want to try and bounce that light off of like a white wall or something, so you just get ambient light and not some direct harsh light on your face. You'll also want to avoid filming on partly cloudy days, because then the brightness of the sun is constantly changing, because the sun goes behind the clouds and then it comes out and it's going to do some really weird wonky things to your video because the light is constantly changing. So as long as it's a sunny day or a completely cloudy day, you're good to film and you'll get some good ambient light. Next, you're going to need something to set your phone up with. Now, on a free budget, one of the ways I've done in the past is to just take a paper cup and then using scissors cut out around it, and you can kind of make a free phone holder if you are working on a free budget. Otherwise, if you got a little bit of money to spend, you can always go to the Dollar Tree or Five Below and just get one of those smartphone tripod holders. One of my favorite smartphone tripod mounts is this guy. I'll actually put a photo up on screen of the price. I'll also have it linked down below in that gear list I mentioned, so you can click on it and purchase it. But this phone holder is really durable and solid. I do have to put it on something when it is fully extended for it to reach my height, because I am 6'2", but if you are smaller, this could get to your height. And it also gets really compact where you could easily fit this into a backpack and take it with you. But the main goal with having your phone set up on a tripod or on a phone cup thing is you need to have your smartphone eye to eye with you, with yourself center. I've seen tons of setups where people have the phone pointing up at them, where it looks like a webcam and just looks bad. I've also seen the opposite, where people have the phone pointing down at them and it's just a weird, awkward shot. You want to make it seem like you're actually having a conversation with someone. So eye to eye, and then you want to center yourself. If you turned on that phone grid, you just put yourself right down the middle. And you also want to leave just a little bit of headroom above you. I've also seen people center themselves and they leave like 6 inches to a foot of space above their head. You don't want that. You really just want a little bit of space above your head. You're looking directly at the camera. You are center. That's the kind of way you want to shoot. You'll also want to pay attention to your background a bit. If it is messy, you know, that could be distracting or just look kind of weird. So if you can, pick a clean environment and make that your background, or just pick up behind you. That way it looks professional and clean. And then probably the last part before you actually start recording is whether you want to get a microphone or not. Personally, I don't think you need one. If this is your first video, just recording with the microphone built into your phone is totally fine. If you do want to pick up a microphone, like a lavalier microphone that'll clip to your shirt and plug right into your phone, or if you want something more wireless that'll always be hooked up to you, I'll leave some recommendations again on that gear list that's linked down below. But this is probably your first video. You don't need to worry about a microphone just yet, unless you're like in like an echoey warehouse or something like that, where it's really hard to understand what you're saying. If that's not the case, I wouldn't worry about it just yet. And now you're all set to start recording your video. And I'll give you a little pro tip here, is to make sure that your video has a hook in the beginning, which a hook is, why should someone stay watching this video? You know, explain what's going to happen in the video and encourage them to stick around for that. And then you want to get right into your video. A lot of new creators will actually start with a big introduction and this is what my channel's about and make sure to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Skip it. Just explain the value that's going to happen in the video and then get right into that value. Now, once you're done filming your video, one last step is you'll want to take a video and pose for some thumbnails. So you want to kind of stand there, be off to the side a bit, point to the left, point to the right, make sure there's room for text. So I put myself on the far side of the screen and then I point to the other side. That way, when we get to creating our thumbnail, which is that picture that's on top of the video that may persuade people to click, once we get to designing that, you've got a photo ready to go where you just got to add some text or different elements. And now with your video filmed, let's get into the editing process of this masterclass. Now, I'm going to give you a very basic and easy to follow guide for editing your videos. And I'm also going to be using the free software CapCut, which is available on iPhone and Android. And it's also available on PC and Mac. So whether you plan to edit on your smartphone or you want a bigger screen and more real estate and you want to edit on a computer, this software works great. And if you end up wanting to learn more cool editing tricks and things to make your videos more engaging, I have over 30 videos on CapCut on this channel, so you can learn all the different things and tricks top YouTubers use to make engaging videos. So make sure you subscribe so you can easily find those videos and also get our newer videos that are going to help you master content creation. And with that being said, let's get into editing our video. All right, so here I am inside of CapCut, and to get started, I'm just going to click New Project. And then I'm going to select the videos that I recorded. For this one, I'm just clicking the most recent video here. You can also select photos and stuff like that, but all I gotta do is click on the video and then click Add to add it to my timeline. If I want to add more footage in the future, I can always click the plus button here, and that takes me right back into my videos and photos where I can select more clips, but I've got everything I need, so I'm just gonna X out and go back here. So on top, you've got your preview screen where you can preview your video. On the middle here, you've got your timeline, which you can scroll through with your finger and kind of preview your video and see all the different recording. And then on the bottom, you have all the adjustments that you can make to the project, or when you click on a video, you'll have all the different settings that you can change for that video clip. Now, the first thing I like to do with a project is to trim and split all my footage together. I'm horrible on camera. Like, this video has already gone on for 53 minutes of mess ups and screw ups. So I like to take all the parts where I actually get things right and connect them all together to make a working video. So to do this, inside of CapCut, I like to scroll ahead right to the point where I start talking. So right there, I begin talking, so I can slowly move up. There, I'm about to take my first breath. And then what I like to do is click on the video, click the split button in the bottom left, and then I can just select the beginning part where I haven't done anything, and then I can click the delete button. So I'll go through my video and I'll just do the split, delete, split, delete. You can also technically trim your videos by grabbing the clip and then on either side you'll see those thick white bars. You can grab those with your finger to trim as well, but I find this not to be super accurate. So I like to just line up my little white line here, which is called the playhead, click the split button, and that makes it more accurate. So let's click play here for a second.
Here are 3 things to help you grow your YouTube channel.
All right, that's the end of that line. So I'm going to click split, and then I'm going to scroll ahead to the next part where I talk, which I believe I mess up on the first one. So I'm going to go right to the part where I get it right, which is like right there. Split, and then I can delete this part because this is the mess up and there's nothing going on there, so I can click delete. I'm just going to pinch with my fingers to zoom back in again, and now I've got this.
Here are 3 things to help you grow your YouTube channel. Tip number 1 is to think about your target audience.
Awesome. And I'm just going to go through the entire video and just split, delete, split, delete, split between the sections where there's nothing going on, and then delete it. And I'll just go through my entire video clips until I have a video put together. So I'm going to finish up this video. All right, I've made it to the end, and as you can see, there is this little CapCut promotion thing. You can always click on this and click delete, just so your video ends properly. And there we go. I have split and trimmed all my video clips together, and now I can start adding things to this to spice it up. Now, probably the first thing I want to add is music. So I can click on audio, and then I can click on sounds, and technically there will be music inside of CapCut, but there is copyrighted content mixed in with some content that may not be copyrighted. It's a real mess. And you also don't know whether that licensing is going to change in the future. That's also why I use Epidemic Sound for my music. So what I'm actually going to do is just head over to the Epidemic Sound app and find music there. So inside of Epidemic Sound, I'm just going to go to the beats genre here, and then I can click filters in the top right corner, and I can actually filter this more by genres. I can filter by moods, which actually for moods, I just kind of want a laid back beat. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to view these 402 tracks and then scroll through and find a song I like. And I actually like this artesian aesthetics. So I'm just going to click the 3 dots, download it right onto my phone. And then what I can actually do is scroll over, click on CapCut here, import audio to CapCut. I could also just save it to my phone's files and import it to CapCut from there. But I'm just going to send it right over to CapCut. And if I actually back out, there it is in my timeline here. And what I'm going to do right away is click on the sound, and I'm going to click volume on the bottom. And I'm going to turn this down to something like 7 or something like that, so it's really background music. And let's actually take a listen and see how the music works with the video here.
Here are 3 things to help you grow your YouTube channel. Tip number 1 is to think about your target audience. Who are the people you're trying to reach? And once you know that, you can think about what topics and video ideas that are going to interest them.
Awesome. And then what I can do at the end of the video here is just click on the audio, click split, and then delete the ending of the audio if your video is shorter than the audio. So there, the music ends. Another easy thing you can add is text. So at the bottom, you can click text, and you can click add text, and there's also auto captions at the bottom too. So if you want just captions to be running on your video, if you're shooting something like a short form video or a long form video, you can still add captions to that too. You have auto captions there, but let's just do add text, and maybe we'll add our name as a slide on. So we'll do Colin Michael, if I can spell my name. There we go, and I can click on font, and I can choose a font here. I can click on style and stylize my text. I even have some presets here I can select to kind of help style my text. That looks good. I can also go over to effects. There's some other designs in here. And then also animation, where I can choose a nice in animation and out animation. All right, and then I can actually just grab it on screen to resize it and change where I want it. So I can drag it down to the corner here. I can also zoom in on the timeline with my fingers, just pinching to zoom in. And I can actually extend the text or shrink it by just grabbing it like so with my finger. So maybe I'll just do it for the opening clip here. And now, when we click play, we've got this.
Here are 3 things to help you grow your YouTube channel.
And if I wanted, I could go through and add text for each little tip I give in the video and have it slide on, slide off, etc. Now, one last thing that I think could be important to you as well is overlays. So on the bottom, you'll see overlay. You can click on that, and then you can click add overlay. And then right now I have the photos option selected, and I can easily click on one of the photos, click add, and now I have a photo, or it could be a video, on top of my video. I can resize it. So if you want to show a picture of something while you're talking, you could do that. You can also click on it and adjust the settings of that. So I can scroll through. I could add a animation to it, as you can see here. So I could have it slide on and slide off and give it that fancy transition. I can also grab the sides of it in the timeline here and make it stay on longer, or I can make it show up for a shorter period of time. You have all those options there. And everything in the timeline is selectable. I can select the video and I can adjust all the settings for that, like volume, being able to crop in, etc. I can select the audio and make adjustments to that specifically, or I can click on overlays and just select that and make adjustments to that. So you've got kind of full customization there that you can explore. Or if you want to learn more, again, I have like 30 CapCut tutorials on my channel that'll teach you everything. Now, once your video is complete, all you have to do is click the top right button, which is the export button. So if we click that, it's going to save our video to our phone, and then from there, we'll be able to upload it to YouTube. All right, it's ready to share. I'm not gonna actually upload it directly from CapCut. I'm just gonna click the done button for now. And what we actually wanna do now is create the thumbnail for our video. Thumbnails are actually probably one of the most important parts of your video, because if no one clicks on your video, then no one sees this awesome video that you just filmed and edited and put together. Now in this class, I am going to show you a very basic way of making thumbnails, but if you really want to master thumbnails and YouTube in general, be sure to check out my Channel Growth Accelerator program, which goes through my exact process of creating a successful YouTube channel that brings views, subscribers, and revenue. If you're interested in learning more, the link will be in the description. Now for creating thumbnails, especially on a free budget, I recommend using Canva. It's free to sign up for, and it's really easy to use. And it's also available on both mobile and on a computer. Now, before we get to that, we want to actually go to that video where we did the posing for the thumbnails. And what we want to do is actually, I'm going to turn my phone sideways here, and I'm just going to screenshot this. So if you click the volume up and the power button on your smartphone, you can actually take a screenshot. There we go. And that is going to be the thumbnail that we are going to edit. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to click edit inside my photo gallery here. I'm going to go to crop, and I'm going to make sure that it is in 16:9 here. There we go. And then I'm also going to go to the adjust tab and kind of adjust like the brightness and kind of just try to make this look even better. So I might turn up the brilliance here. I think the shadows could go up a little bit. Maybe the highlights a little bit down. Make it a little bit more vibrant, but not too much because I got a red face. Sharpen it just a little bit, and that looks pretty decent. I'm going to click done, and there we go. Now, back inside of Canva, I'm going to click on the search bar and just type in YouTube, and I should get YouTube thumbnail to pop up. Maybe not. Let's just type thumbnail. And it should give us a YouTube thumbnail template. There we go. They have a whole bunch of templates in here. Don't use them. These templates are horrible. A lot of them aren't doing the best practices for thumbnails, so I don't suggest using them unless you're just stealing them for your background. So we're just gonna start with create blank. And then what we wanna do is on the bottom, scroll over to uploads. And then in here, we wanna click the upload files, photo library, select our photo that we just had, click add, and then it's going to add it to Canva here. So it's going to take a second to load. There we go. Going to click on it, and then we'll drag it with our finger to make sure it takes up the full size of the screen. Awesome. And then on the bottom, we can click the plus button. We can go over to text, and we can add some text in. So I'm just going to click the heading here. Now with your text on screen, you probably want to stick to like 2 to 4 words at most, just because people aren't going to read like a whole sentence on screen. So for this video, I was giving like YouTube tips. So maybe I'll choose something simple like best YouTube tips. So for the first one, I'm just going to type best, increase the size, and move it over here. I'm going to change the color to white. Normally you want to stick with either white or black text. And then to really help it stand out, I'm going to click on effects on the bottom here. And then I'm going to either add shadow, or to make it really stand out, I like adding a background. And then I can click on the background part again. You'll see the little knobs there to adjust. And I can adjust the spread. I don't need it to be spread out that much. The roundness of it can be around a little bit. That's fine. Let's just see what that looks like. Best. That looks decent. And then what I'm going to do is with it selected, I'm going to click this duplicate button. So I keep the exact same settings, and then I'll double tap, switch this to YouTube, duplicate again, and then change this to tips. And that black is still really, really thick there. I'm going to click on this and stylize it again here. Go back into effects and make some changes here. And then one other thing I'm going to make a change on is the font. So I'm going to click on font as well. And I want to choose something really bold and big so it's easy to read, not something like cursive-y or some weird font like that. We ultimately want this to be easy to read so people can click on it. All right, there we go. And the font I actually ended up going with was, I think it's this Archivo Black, which is nice and bold. I made a little black shadow around this. So for my effects, I went with Lift. And that's kind of putting this black shadow behind it to make sure it really stands out well. And then I'm also being careful of not putting anything near the bottom right of the screen because that's where the timestamp goes on YouTube. It could also help to stand on the right side and point to the left. So that way for sure there won't be any timestamp blocking my text. But I have it nice and up to the size there. And this is a pretty basic, easy to read thumbnail. The only thing that might actually be worth changing is what the text actually says to make it more persuasive or make people more curious to where they want to click. But this is going to be your first video, so I wouldn't stress over that too much yet. So now all we gotta do is click the export button at the top right, and then we can download it right onto our phone and be able to use this. And there we go. We have saved to camera roll, and we are all set now to upload our video to YouTube. Now, there's two different apps you're gonna need. You're gonna need one, the YouTube app, and number two, you're gonna wanna get YouTube Studio. This is gonna allow you to change the thumbnail, add different things, as well as look at your analytics to see how your videos are performing. So inside the YouTube app, you're gonna wanna click the plus button on the bottom, go over to video, and then I've got my video in the top left there. That's the most recent one. I can click on that and click next. And then here I can give it a title. There we go. I can also add a description if I want. This can also help YouTube know what this video is about. So be descriptive in your description and also in your title. You know, obviously tell people what your video is about. You don't need to throw in like a whole bunch of keywords, but at least let people know if I click on this video, what's the value I'm going to get out of this. So for my example title here, I have Best YouTube Tips for Beginners in 2024. I feel like that's a pretty solid title there. And then you can also technically add a thumbnail while you're uploading it. So you can still click this. I can click on my photo here, click select. There we go. I've got my thumbnail set. I'm going to leave this as unlisted as this is a test video. And then as for audience, you want to make sure that unless you are specifically targeting kids, the answer is no, it's not made for kids. A lot of people think, oh, well, my audience is for everyone, therefore it's made for kids. This is going to throw your video into the YouTube Kids app, and it's also going to like restrict the video a bit, as YouTube has to follow certain laws with what they're allowed to track and show to children. So make sure you're properly tagging your videos here. If you're like Bluey or Miss Rachel or the Wiggles or something, yeah, you want to say, yes, it's made for only kids. But if you're a general audience, the correct answer would be no, it's not made for kids. And then once done, all you gotta do is click that upload button and it's gonna process and then upload to YouTube. And then if you get the YouTube Studio app, you can actually monitor the video performance, see all the comments that are coming in and be able to reply. It's very useful. And you're also able to update the thumbnail later and the description all within YouTube Studio, the mobile app. Now be sure to go through the description of this video so you can see all the links that I reference in this video, like Epidemic Sound, my course, any of the products we mentioned. And if you want to learn some more tips to help you grow better on YouTube, be sure to check out this playlist right here, as I'll have a few videos here that are going to help you get started on YouTube, start your growth so that way you can get monetized or grow a following, etc. So click over here next and hope to see you there.